I used to work in law. There are big consequences when you make even little mistakes in law. And this one's a doozy. The Michael Jackson biopic, which is set to come out this year, I think other than Avatar, is one of the more automatic billion-dollar films. I think this movie is going to make so much bank. It's crazy. They showed us a preview for it back at CinemaCon in April. It looks really good. Oh yeah, but oopsie. Apparently they made a mistake and had somebody in the movie that there was a legal agreement that they would never put in the movie, and now they got to go back and do massive rewrites and reshoots, hence a delay in the release of the movie. This comes to us from IndieWire. And guys, I'm going to read this a little bit at length because this is one of those things where it's like, how the hell did this happen? That headline reads, Michael Jackson biopic blindsided by a deal with a family member of a molestation accuser facing massive reshoots. All right. Now, follow it along here, because this is like how you had one job. You had one job. All right, here it is. Certainly, this could have been avoided. According to a bombshell report in Puck, Lionsgate's upcoming Michael Jackson biopic, Michael, faces massive rewrites and reshoots because of a deal that the Jackson estate made years ago with the family of one of the performer's child molestation accusers. Lionsgate did not return calls seeking comment. In November of 2024, Lionsgate announced that Michael, directed by Antoine Fuqua, would be delayed from April of 2025 to release in October 3rd of 2025. According to Puck, the problem lay with an agreement between Jackson's legal team and the family of Jordan Chandler, the then 13-year-old who accused Jackson of molestation in 1993. Okay, that deal, made years before the movie began development, specifically excludes the Chandler family from any movies about Jackson's life. All right? Okay, so they made a deal years ago, the Jackson estate did, that said, hey, if we ever make a movie about Michael and his life, your family won't be a part of it. Simple enough, right? That's pretty clear. Yeah. Oops. However, the Michael script began and ended in 1993 with the Chandler accusations. The one thing you're not supposed to do, we're going to start and end the movie with you. The third act hinges on the legal drama surrounding the Chandler's eventual $20 million settlement. Now, you may be asking yourself, how the hell does that happen? Well, here's how it happened. Puck reported that the Jackson estate, overseen by a guy by the name of John Branca, vetted the script, but somehow overlooked the Chandler agreement. So Lionsgate, Antoine Fuqua, the filmmakers, got the script to Michael and handed it over to the Jackson estate for them to go through and make sure everything was right. And the head of the estate, John Branca, said, yup, everything's good. All right. Overlooked the Chandler agreement, informing the filmmakers of the mistake or the snafu in September of 2024, just as the film entered post-production. Whoops. Hey, you haven't started making that movie yet, have you? Yeah, we finished shooting. Why? We're doing post-production now. Well, there might have been something I should have told you. Fuqua, producer Graham King, and writer John Logan are now seeking approval for the script changes from Lionsgate and Universal. Puck adds that the Jackson estate, because this was their mistake, will cover the costs of any reshoots. The film already had a $150 million budget. All right. What? Okay. First of all, it needs to be pointed out here that none of this is Lionsgate's or Antoine Fuqua's fault. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. They, along the way of developing the movie, they would go to the Jackson estate and say, is everything in this above board? Is everything in this what we are allowed to say or do? And it was the Jackson estate who got the script, read it over, and said, yuppers, you're good.
I really hope they put yuppers on legal header
right in the legal document.
I think that's beautiful. Who's their general counsel? Me?
Your Honor, they gave us the yuppers. Overruled. So the story, according to this, starts with the kid who's not supposed to be in the movie and ends with the kid who's not supposed to be in the movie and whose third act revolves around the court circus that was also not supposed to be in the movie. I don't understand how something like this can happen because they had shot the movie.
Yeah.
They spent the money. They're in post-production. And now for the estate to come back and say, oh, I forgot about this one thing. You're not supposed to have this kid in it. What?
That is a central character throughout the entire narrative of this film.
It's almost like, remember the Tommy and Pamela show they did on HBO? It's like the Pamela Anderson's lawyers got back to HBO and said, was it on HBO? I can't remember. It said, we forgot. We have a legal agreement that we wouldn't put Tommy Lee in any movie about Pamela's life from now on. Oops. And this is going to cost, look, and it's fine that the Jackson estate is going to cover the cost of the reshoots. That's fine. But now Lionsgate and this movie have lost time, and time costs you money. And if it sounds like they're still trying to get script approval, I don't know that this thing comes out this year at all. This is a mess. This is incompetence. This should not happen. Anyway, Chris, you heard about this story. What's your first takeaway from it? Guys, we want to thank a sponsor of today's video, BetterHelp. You know, every January is like a blank slate, 365 pages waiting for you to fill them in. Perhaps it's time to rewrite a chapter that's been holding you back. Life isn't about resolutions that fade. It's about becoming the author of your own life story. And in writing that story, therapy can be your trusted editorial partner, helping you craft meaningful chapters, build resilience, and empower you to live the life that you've always envisioned. Therapy can help you learn positive coping skills, set boundaries, and become your best self. And that's where BetterHelp comes in. BetterHelp offers fully online therapy, making it affordable and convenient. With over 30,000 licensed therapists specializing in diverse needs, you can find somebody who truly understands your story. You can even switch therapists anytime at no extra cost. You know, I often hear from some of our viewers who talk about having some real struggles and challenges over the last couple of years. Well, listen, we commit ourselves to getting more physically strong and healthy by going to the gym. It's time for us to commit to getting more mentally and emotionally strong by getting involved in therapy. So write your story with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/Campea today and get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/Campea.
It's so messy and dumb. It's dumb. I mean, we talk about media literacy all the time. I'm concerned about actual literacy here. If you read the script, I don't think this person did their job at all. Because if you read the script, you'd go, oh, yeah, there's that. Oh, yeah, there's that. One of my friends is a lawyer, and his only job right now is to go through contracts and highlight violations before they're finalized. It's his only job, right? He's not the head of somebody's estate. That's just what he does. So this guy really messed up. I was going to say, I'm going to call Peter and be like, I think something's open for you. This is just silly. And I'm a big fan of, in your day-to-day life, of taking risks and ask for forgiveness, not permission. Not here. No, it's an actual legal issue that you have signed, sealed, and delivered money on already. This is just so lazy and so incompetent. And I'm so confused how this film moved forward, and also ultimately what the story is going to be here now too, because if that was part of a 3-act structure. And that was your third act. Yeah. I'm very intrigued to see how they play this now.
One thing I'm curious about, and it's not putting any kind of onus on the family, but if I was involved, I would have been like, I hear there's a movie coming out through my like legal whatever channels. I'd be like, just want to make sure, as per our agreement, that my son isn't mentioned. Yeah. But you, like you said, but you don't have to do that. That's not on them. No, we already covered that. So I know they're not going to put my son in it because we have an agreement. And Jonathan raised up something. This is a minor thing, but it's a really interesting thing. John raised a really good point before we started the show today. There is some kid, probably 15 or 16-year-old actor playing a 13-year-old,
there's some kid who got their big break in Hollywood that they were going to appear in this guaranteed $1 billion film, Michael, playing this role. And sorry, kid, you're out of the movie. Sorry. I know we told you. We made all your dreams come true. Give it back.
Gonna pull the old Chris Aroo and delete you out of the movie.
You are.
Oh no! I hate that. That's the way I'm a verb.
It is now forever
Oh
known
man,
as
I
Chris
know.
Aroo.
It's just yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Are you getting cut from a movie? They Chris Card you.
Yeah.
And I mean, listen, I'm laughing about it, but I feel terrible for that kid.
Yeah.
You're going to be this big star, and then it's taken away. You know what? I'm sure Lionsgate will do right by whoever this kid is and give them a role in something else down the ride. But I mean, my God, what a mess. And you know what? I love the way IndieWire started the article because it needs to be said first. The very first words of the article, certainly this could have been avoided.
They're going to open up the movie with this. It's going to be like text. Certainly
This is now a part of the movie. I mean, there's going to be a movie about the making of Michael now.
Yeah.
Or at least a Paramount Plus series of some
It's called
kind.
Making Michael.
And again, I need to emphasize again, none of this was Lionsgate's fault. And none of this was the filmmaker's fault. It certainly wasn't Antoine Fuqua's fault. They did the right procedure. They did what they were supposed to do. It was the Jackson estate that botched this terribly. And again, listen, there's nothing in here that says the film's going to be delayed even more. But if the article is accurate and they are still at the point where they still have to get approval for the script rewrites, I don't see how this thing comes out in 2025.
Mr. Pineapple summarizes this perfectly.
What's that?
Such ungrouped poop.
Such ungrouped poop. All over the place. Not done right.
What is the point of this story aside from talking about just the shiny version of Michael Jackson then if you don't get into the controversy?
Well,
that's what I'm confused by.
I mean, that
You could probably get into it without naming anyone.
Sure.
I mean, I
Change
never
the name.
knew
Change
that
the
all
details.
this was going to be a major part of the film, right?
I figured it would be.
And I didn't know if they would or not. And I actually respect the fact that the filmmakers and the estate were going to make that a part of the movie.
Yeah.
I actually respect that they were going to do that. Oopsie. I guess they can't anymore. Or they go to another family that they made a settlement with or something like that and said, hey, I know this is a painful period of your life. We settled out of court. We still deny that Michael ever did anything and all that kind of stuff. But do you want to make an extra $10 million? Can we use your family history in this? I mean, it'll bring up I'm sure, a very awkward time for you guys, but another $15 million. I mean, I don't know what you do.
Yeah.
It is a horrible situation that easily could have been avoided. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this entire situation? A $100+ million movie has to go back and redo its entire third act, change their narrative and all that kind of stuff because somebody's lawyer didn't do their job. It's crazy to me. Whatever you guys think about it, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. By the way, as a side note, I'm seeing a whole bunch of people in the live chat saying, well, can't you just change the name of the kid? That won't do it.
That's why there's that whole disclaimer at the end of movies too, talking about how if this is reflective of real life
It's
incidents and
coincidental,
anything,
right? You would get your ass handed to you in court.
Exactly.
That family would take Lionsgate, the Jackson State to court so fast. Oh, no. See, it's not Chandler. It's Mickey Spamicky. That's the name of the kid. That family is going to take them to court and say that is clearly our kid. You don't just get to, everybody thinks there's these little loopholes.
Right now.
No, you're going to put this in front of a judge and you're going to lose $500 million. So no, they can't just go into the movie and change the name of the kid. They can't do that.
Cannot win for losing.
Yeah, they're going to say a court will say you are that is definitely that kid. You just changed the name. So anyway, all right, guys.